just gonna
Yeah.
pull it off, so it's not an issue.
Went to school with her. Yeah.
Steve, are we ready? You think the others might be coming in soon?
I don't believe they're attending. so-
Okay. It is 5 o'clock. It's time to call the regular meeting of the Auburn Planning Commission to order. And we'll begin first by having the secretary call the roll.
Dana Camp.
Here.
Nanette Reese. Robin Bridges. Warren McCord.
Here.
Bob Reichenbach.
Here.
Wendy Birmingham.
Here.
David Wisdom.
Here.
Joseph Astrup.
Here.
Bill Chancellor.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum, and we will proceed with our business. And the first thing we usually do at this meeting is have citizens communication, have an opportunity for anyone who has a planning issue that relates to this body that does not relate to any of the items on the agenda. You have the opportunity to come forward and bring that to our attention and make some discussion of that if you'd like to. So I will open that part of our program by inviting anyone who wishes to address the commission on anything other than what's on the agenda. We'll take your input at that time. I see no one, so we'll move on. And before we go to the old business, let me make a brief word about the procedure in case this is the first meeting you've been in a while. This planning commission has several responsibilities. Most or all the zoning issues we're advisory to the city council. However, at this point in our in zoning issues, we are often, in making decisions, we have public hearings that are required by Alabama law. During that public hearing, citizens can address us on any issue relating to that particular topic that we're dealing with. And we will take that under advisement. We also have to consider state law. We have to consider our ordinance and city codes, as well as the case law that is related to some similar issue. And after taking all of that input, we will then have to make a decision. With the exception of subdivision regulations, I mentioned we were advisory to the city council. Subdivision regulations is a technical review, and are the review of subject. It's late in the afternoon. Review of the subdivision regulations is a technical review, and therefore the decision is placed entirely on the planning commission. So after we get the public hearing input, we will then decide how that relates, if it's technically acceptable under our subdivision regulations for approval. So with that aside, we will begin our deliberations with our old business, which is a preliminary plat for Beehive Park. That was tabled at the last meeting.
Good afternoon. That is correct. Before you is a preliminary plat approval for a 11-lot commercial subdivision. It was postponed last month, at your last month meeting. The property is located on Beehive Road. It was annexed and rezoned in May of this year. It's zoned industrial. And you'll see that the lots all have frontage on these streets that were constructed prior to being annexed and rezoned. They are requesting a waiver to the subdivision regulations in addition to the preliminary plat to subdivide off of a private street as opposed to public right-of-way. So they are also seeking that waiver. Staff is supportive of the waiver, and we do recommend approval for the subdivision plat as well. The applicant is also here.
Okay, one quick question. All
Yes.
the streets that are shown then on the plat, inside the plat's perimeter, are private streets?
That is correct.
Okay, all right. Was the developer or his representative wish to say anything at this time about it?
Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. This being a preliminary plat requires a public hearing. Is there anyone here wishes to address the commission on this the subject? If you do, feel free to come forward, sign the book before you sit back down regarding your name and address. I see no one coming forward, so we'll close the public hearing and ask the commission, is there?
Yeah, I just have a question for staff. It mentions here under the section Greenway, Green Space and Bike Plan Facility Impact, and mentions that there's a bike path shown on Beehive Road, but I'm not seeing it. So is that supposed to be on the plat?
No, it will not be on the plat.
The future bike path is just identified in our plan and shown there. It's not gonna be required to be dedicated, constructed, et cetera, with this subdivision. It's just.
More than likely,
something-
it would be within the right-of-way
Yes.
Okay,
of Beehive Road.
all right. Thank you.
Any more questions? If not, is there anyone prepared to make a motion?
I'll move to approve PC case PP 2023-010 Beehive Park.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded that we approve. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. And the motion carries. The next item of business is our consent agenda, and the chair would like to request that we remove the final plat 801 Ogletree from the consent agenda. Is anyone,
Move to approve.
okay, motion been approved?
Second.
All in favor of removing the final plat 801 Ogletree from the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. So we will take it up in our regular business shortly. Okay, who's, the consent agenda?
Balance of the consent agenda.
I move to approve the balance of the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, the motion been made and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion of that necessary? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. And the motion carries. Now, we will now take up the 801. Well, I'll get to it in a minute. Yeah, the Ogletree, 801 Ogletree. Will someone make a presentation for us, please?
Good evening, Commissioners. This is a final plat request for 801 Ogletree. It is a 15-lot conventional subdivision. Previously, the preliminary plat was approved at your February meeting. This is the final plat. The plat is essentially the same as what was approved in the preliminary. Staff would like to have you all look at the conditions that were associated with this request in the staff report. There is one staff condition from Water Resource Management. It is condition number 1 under Water Resource Management. We would like you to, if so inclined, to approve the plat with all conditions except that comment or condition.
Which is the backflow?
No, sir.
Number 1.
Sanitary sewer easement
Oh.
cannot overlap with a private easement.
Oh,
We are working with the owner and our city legal counsel to kind of hash out the details on that, but should not affect the recording of the plat.
okay. Okay. There's not a public hearing necessary for this. Does any staff have any more questions of staff regarding this particular one? This is the final plat. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve FP 2023-013 to 801 Ogletree with conditions and also removing the water resource management condition number 1.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion of the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. And the motion carries. All right, now we begin our new business. And the first item in new business, item number 5 on the agenda, is rezoning Cox and rezoning for Cox and Corporate.
Yes, this is a rezoning request for approximately 3.1 acres from Comprehensive Development District to Interstate Commercial District. And just a quick note, the ICD was just recently adopted by council in May of 2023. The property is located at the northwest corner of Cox Road and Corporate Parkway, adjacent to Buc-ee's. The future land use designates the property as interstate commercial, therefore the proposed rezoning to ICD is consistent with this designation. Staff recommends approval of this rezoning request, and there's no comments to note.
Okay, is the petitioner representative here wish to say anything? All right, we'll now call for a public hearing on this. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address this issue? I see no one, so we'll close the public hearing.
I'll move to approve case RZ 2023-008 Cox and Corporate Property rezoning.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second, David did.
Motion's been made in multiple seconds, and we'll call for all in favor of the motions, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. And the motion carries. The next item is the Glen Mixed Use rezoning. Who's presenting that?
Yes, good evening. This is a rezoning request for 0.52 acres from NC 6 Neighborhood Conservation District to CRDE Commercial or Corridor Redevelopment District East. The property is located at 1009 East Glen Avenue. Current use is a duplex on the property. If you will recall, we recently rezoned I say recently, within the last 18 months or so, rezoned the property immediately to the east of this to CRDE as well. Both of these properties are within the office mixed-use future land use designation, mixed-use office residential future land use designation. We see this requested zoning fitting very well with this future land use designation as this area through this stretch of East Glen Avenue continues to kind of transition and redevelop over time. So with that, we are recommending approval of this request with no comments.
Okay, is there a representative from the developer wish to say anything at this time? Just walked out the door, okay. All right, then we'll,
We got a representative?
yeah, I was gonna say, well, is there a representative here? Okay, all right. Then this requires a public hearing, so we shall open that public hearing at this time. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to this issue? If not, we'll close the public hearing. Is there need for discussion? Anything you need, commissioners?
I'll make a motion to approve, to forward to the city council with a recommendation for approval, RZ 2023-009.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded that we recommend to city council for approval. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no, and the motion carries. Our next item of business is also a rezoning. It's a East Glen mixed use.
Mr. Chair, I believe that was the one we
That
just
was
did.
the
Oh, that's right, that's right.
We're on the.
We're on Rock House.
Oh, that's right. Turn the page here. No, I've got this. There we are. Okay, this is Rock House Farms. Okay, yes, we already done it. Rock House Farms. Who's presenting that to us? There you go, Katie.
Here I am. This is a request for annexation for approximately 85.79 acres. The property is located on Bridlewood Drive, east of Creekwood subdivision. And the property currently is about 100 acres, and they are proposing to leave a portion of the property in the county. So they're only gonna bring in about 85 acres. You'll see on the west side of the property, highlighted in pink there, that is the area that will remain in unincorporated Lee County. And the remaining of the property will be brought into the city limits. The property fronts on Bridlewood Drive, which is a private street. That street is identified on our major street plan as a residential collector. So it will have to be brought up to standards in the future. And we do recommend approval.
And you're confident then that it meets our subdivision regulations?
We'll get to the plat on the next one.
Oh, that's right.
This is just the annexation.
Annexation.
If you'll notice though, on the prox map, if you'll go back to that prox map, Logan, please. You'll see the portion of the property to the north of this subject property and to the west of the portion that's gonna be outside of the city limits. Those two pieces are also in the county right now. So leaving that 14 or so acres in the county is going to increase the size of an enclave, an existing enclave. Just wanted to point that out.
It's a valid point to make.
Is there a reason for that, leaving that out?
I am not certain. You can, the applicant is here, so they can answer that question for you.
Okay.
I'll be happy to give you
Okay, we'll get,
so my,
Second.
yeah, when she's finished, I would like for you to come up for us to answer that.
Do you have any other additional questions for me?
Okay, thank you, Katie. Yes, sir, would you come and tell us what you, answer these questions, please? First state your name, please.
yes, sir, my name's Will Herring. My primary residence is directly to the west. My wife Ashley and I and our 4 kids live on 17 acres, and we're one of the residents of Creekwood Trail. When we bought the 17 acres a few years ago, we built out there. I'm not, approximately, if my memory serves me correct, 7 or 8 of our acres are in the city, and then behind us is county. And we initially set out to purchase just a few acres as a buffer, and as the family decided to sell us 100 acres, here we are a few years later, and we're excited about the opportunity to bring other families with children, some with children, some without. In regards to the county, just the opportunity to not have the limitations that come with being in the city, but also being in the city. And so really this is just giving me a little bit of a buffer next door, and it's just adjoining the county property that I have just north of where the footprint of my house is.
So access right now is through your property, I mean, they're contiguous, this
They are,
piece of property?
they are
okay.
contiguous. I believe what we're gonna do is create a 30-foot strip down the left side, if you'll straight down. That's my understanding of what the county would require for us to have proper road frontage to a city or county street, and so that's the plan currently.
So what you're leaving it out of the annexation so that you would not be encumbered by city restrictions, is that it?
Yes, sir.
And what type of restrictions would that be?
This may sound like redneck, and maybe this is redneck, but I'm really involved in our church, and like one of the first few weeks of like living here, we had a big youth group come over, and like we're not required to get a burn permit. As long as we're in the county, we can have a bonfire. Another thing is, as far as discharging an archery weapon inside the city limits, I've heard different things about that. My son and I like to shoot our bow in our backyard, and so just things of really outdoor related is not things that are development related, but more personally just recreational related.
Yeah, but you're totally surrounded by city limits then, in terms of,
Well, I'm currently, yes, sir.
yeah.
And I would still be currently if all this is brought into the city.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions of Mr. Herring? Thank you, Mr. Herring.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, it'll be time to open the public hearing at this time. So anybody wish to come and address the body on this? Oh, no public hearing on this required, it's annexation, right? All right, we won't have a public hearing then.
We will have a public hearing on the preliminary plat that immediately follows this.
All right, so here we go. We have the annexation of approximately 85.79 acres, leaving an enclave of, what size is that, Katie?
Approximately 14 and a half acres.
A little hole, a 14-acre hole in our city limits.
Yes, but I wish I could zoom in on, okay, there we go. So Mr. Herring's property, where his residence
Yeah,
is on this lot where the cursor is.
yeah.
And a portion of that lot is outside of the city limits currently. So his residence is here, And that is in the county.
But before the annexation of this property, that is not an enclave or a whole, it is just county property.
That's correct, yes.
But now it will be surrounded by city property.
Yes.
And that has become an issue in some parts of our city in recent months.
I would kind of argue that, you know, this is more personal use than some of those other enclaves, you know. And to me, that this makes a little more sense than some of the other things we've been dealing with. So I don't know if I'd have a objection to this one.
I just think in terms of maybe how we should be thinking about this is that we shouldn't be leaving big holes in terms of the way in which we annex. We have a choice with annexation, and we do. You know, if there's a big hole that's being created, then maybe we shouldn't be creating that hole. Maybe it should all just remain rural in the county.
What you create is an inconsistent set of standards of what one can do on their property. That to me is a problem.
Especially because you're surrounded by city folks.
Yeah. And you have the right on your property that adjacent to these houses that cannot do certain things, you can. And I would think that, you know, and the applicant is actually probably going to, as we have a subdivision here later, going to transfer title of these lots to somebody where he is not affording them the same protections that they would have if they were all in the city. But anyway, anyone else wants to comment on this?
I think I have a question for Mr. Herring again. Is there any thoughts of bringing that property into the city at a future date?
One of my daughters enjoys horseback riding, and
Would you come back up to the microphone?
One of my children just loves horses, and the Gardner family. If you ever drive out there, there's horses around.
Right.
It's the Gardner Stables is what the name of the farm's called, and so my goal is to hold on to it for one of my children, and at that point, like, I mean, Auburn City is a blessing to grow up in, and there's a reason I live in Auburn. I grew up in this area, but I didn't grow up in Auburn, and I love the city of Auburn. It's where we live now currently. So at that point now, my children are 11 and under, so we're a few ways out. And in the meantime, and I understand you, Joseph. I understand your concerns. Warren, same thing, and respectfully, just totally understand. Thank you, Phil, for sharing your thoughts. But that's my thought process, Dana.
Thank you, Will. Anyone else? Is there then anyone prepared to make a motion on this item?
Thank you.
I'll move to approve case AX 2023-00011 Rock House Farm annexation. Recommend approval forward to the city council.
Second.
Okay, we'll have a motion. It's seconded. I'd like to, Secretary, have a roll call vote, please.
Dana Kemp,
Yes.
Warren McCord,
No.
Bob Reichenbaugh,
No.
Wendy Birmingham,
No.
David Wisdom,
Yes.
Joseph Astrup,
No.
Bill Chancellor.
Yes.
The vote total?
4-7.
4-2.
4-2, I'm sorry.
4-2, no.
This will still move forward to the
Yeah,
city
yeah.
council at their Tuesday meeting.
Okay. The next item is the preliminary plat, still in our planning jurisdiction.
Yes, that is correct. Preliminary plat approval for 12 conventional lots on the same property that was just considered. Rock House Farms. They are proposing 12 lots that will front Bridlewood Drive, again, currently a private street. With this development, the road has to be brought up to city standards and converted to public right-of-way. All of the lots have road frontage along Bridlewood Drive. However, they will be accessed about where the cursor is now by a private drive that will lead back to the lots. One of the conditions or comments that was provided by the Lee County engineer stated that they had, because a portion of the property is going to remain in Lee County, they needed to provide access to that lot. And Mr. Herring touched on that a second ago. They gave two options, and I believe they are leaning towards option 2 of providing a 30-foot strip from Lot 12 to Bridlewood Drive. And we do recommend approval, and I will be happy to answer any questions.
Smallest lot is, how many acres?
I'm sorry?
Smallest lot is?
Just under 4.5 acres.
4.5.
And the largest lot is 15 acres, which is the portion that's going to remain in the county.
And the access through there, with the poles from the lots in the back, will be a private drive.
Yes.
Okay. Any more?
Yeah, so let me ask a question about procedure. City commission goes with our recommendation and says no to the annexation. Do we still need to rule on this?
Oh, yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's in the
Just to
planning
make sure.
jurisdiction.
It's in
It
our
is.
jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Now,
I just wanted to make sure.
if I could note, if for some reason this property were not to be annexed into the city, it certainly does fall under our planning jurisdiction and our subdivision regulations.
Okay.
However, since some of the regulations are slightly different, actually between the city and the county, for example, this 30-foot requirement, there would be some changes that would have to be made to the plat as presented if all the lots were not to come into the city. So just wanted to make you aware of that.
And that we'd take action on that in the final plat?
Yes,
Okay.
unless there was some sort of major reconfiguration, that's how I would envision that.
Okay.
Any other
Thank you,
questions?
Katie. This does require a public hearing, so I'll open that public hearing now. Does anyone wish to address this item? Yes, ma'am?
Good evening. Good evening. How are y'all this evening? I'm Cynthia Atkinson. My physical address, current address, is 1817 Bluestone Court. However, I was born and raised on, if we could go back to the map where it shows the Gardners, the 97. So our family is the Clements family, Dr. Bill Clements. He was a veterinarian. My mom, we're 4 generations from here. And so we have the land, we own the land where Shelton Cove is. So when he passed away, my sister had that land, sold it. We adjoin Shelton Cove, and we come 1,000 feet down to the entrance into the Gardner stable. We are a county, and my father died on the land. My mother is 85 and is going to stay there until she passes. And it's our family's desire for us to stay in the county and keep it as a farm for many generations. And so on behalf of Will, I personally feel that, that's the main reason we keep it and want to keep it in county is I showed and trained horses all my life. We had cattle, we've had all kind of livestock. And, there's a beauty to that. And as an American and, civil, our personal rights, I guess, I don't know how to say this, but I just feel like, as a landowner, there is something to be said to be able to have your horses and your cattle. And so I personally, I do pull for Mr. Herring for that portion because, if he's going to stay within the compliance of that, that's the American way. Why can't we have our horses and, that kind of thing? So I personally would like to say that I personally am in favor of him being able to have that. And we're basically neighbors. So we were here. The only people that were there were the Pearsons and the Gardners when we acquired our land, so almost 100 years. So I just wanted to put that there for him on behalf of, on his account. I feel like that's a fair thing, you know, but anyway, I appreciate your allowing me to express that, and we thank you all for what you all are doing.
What you're saying, don't expect your property to come in for annexation
We
anytime soon.
plan not to ever, yes, sir. We love our horses, and I'll be doing more when my mom's 85 right now, so we're not at that place, but we will do more with, more livestock in the future, so. But thank you all. We appreciate you all. God bless y'all.
And ma'am, if you wouldn't mind signing in right there as well? Excellent, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm Michael Goodlett. I live at 1766 Creekwood Trail in Auburn. I speak as an individual, but I'm also president of the Creekwood Development Homeowners Association. I just want to say that I'm delighted with the nature of this proposed development in that it's few houses, it's large lots, and it's consistent with what we have in Creekwood. I'm also delighted with the prospect that our access will be improved, but I think I can speak for the majority of our homeowners association that they're, if this property has to be developed, that we like this aspect of it. Thank you.
Sign in too, please. Anyone else? If there's not anyone else, we'll close the public hearing and resume discussion. Council, Commission, is there anything else you need to make this decision? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve PC case PP 2023-11 with comments.
Motion's been made approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any discussion, any opposed, say no. And the motion carries. The next item is the conditional use for Boulevard Phase 7.
I am not John Whitlow, but I am presenting his case for him. This is a request for conditional use approval for a performance residential development, multiple unit development. This is located on the west side of Summerhill Road, south of Old Stage Road. It is the 7th phase of the boulevard. The 6th phase was approved last May, I believe, and is currently under construction, almost complete. This phase will consist of 16 units shown there, and we do recommend approval. The case is consistent with the future land use as well as the zoning for medium-density residential development.
Okay, thank you, Katie. Is there anyone representing the developer here to make any comments?
Be happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you, Parker. We'll open this public hearing for public input. Is there anyone wish to address this particular issue? Item? I see no one, so we'll close the public hearing. And is there any need for discussion or questions from the commission?
Move to approve CU 2023-015, the Boulevard Phase 7, forward to City Council with the recommendation for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any need to discuss the motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. And the motion carries. Okay, that brings us to, we have no other business that I know of, and I have no comments. How about the staff?
No comments from us?
All right, then with that, we will adjourn this meeting.